Good morning, children. This is me, Teacher Helen, and welcome to our new lesson in English. So for today, we are going to study 3 sub-skills. First, we have understanding hyphenated compound. Second, principal parts of verbs. And the last is expressing facts and opinions from informational texts. Okay, let's start. First, we have understanding hyphenated compound. Hyphenated compound is made from 2 words in English combined by a hyphen. The 2 words are often adjectives or nouns and can be used by themselves. When combined with a hyphen, they mean differently. Examples: high speed, part-time, editor-in-chief, brother-in-law, 31. The hyphenated compound is generally the least form of compound word. Again, least. An example is the combination of the 2 words K and board, used separately to describe a computer tool in the early days of its use. They are then combined after some use into a hyphenated compound. So before, the word keyboard is hyphenated. When the use became a common, the hyphen gradually was dropped, and the term became a one-word compound, keyboard. So before, class, the word keyboard is usually hyphenated, K hyphen board. But now, since it is used become common, it becomes one word. So let's try. Choose the word in the left side that would complete the hyphenated compound word. Encircle your choice. So, number 1, pick me. Number 2, empty. Number 3, father. Number 4, follow. Number 5, sugar. Find the correct hyphenated compound word. 1 minute. Okay, done. Let us answer. Number 1, pick me. Is it side, down, or up? The answer is up. Pick me up. Number 2, empty. Is it handed, day, or full? The answer is empty-handed. Right. Number 3, father. Is it in-law, in-house, in office? The answer is in-law. Very good. Number 4, follow. Is it through, up, or at? The answer is up. That's right. Number 5. Sugar. Is it free, full, empty? The answer is free. Correct. Good job, everyone. Now, the second sub-skill is all about the principal parts of the verb. So what are verbs? Verbs are action words. Okay, principal parts of the verb. We have 4 principal parts of the verb. These are present, present participle, past, and past participle. The different principal parts assume different rules in a sentence. The principal parts of a verb are the 4 forms of the verb from which all forms of the verb can be made. So again, those are the principal parts of the verb: present, present participle, past, and past participle. So let us discuss this one by one. Let's start with present. Verbs in the present may be in the base form or in the S form. Example. Okay. Study the table, base form and S form. Okay, base forms are hop, jump, and join. So what happened when it becomes S form? It becomes hops, jumps, joins. That's right. So that was an example of present form of the verb. Second, present participle. The present participle is always in the ing form. Again, ing form. To create the present participle, sometimes the final consonant of the base form is doubled or the final E is dropped before adding ing. The present participle is used with various helping verbs. Examples: hopping, jumping, joining. Oh, that's right. Present participle is always in the ing form. So that was the example of present participle. Third, past. The past may be in the regular or irregular form. To create the past form, add ed to the base form. The base form sometimes doubles its final consonant or drops a final E before adding ed. Again, past may be in the regular or irregular form. So this, in the table, you can see the example of regular verbs and irregular verbs. Regular verbs are verbs that you will add ed. Example: hopped, jumped, joined. Those are regular verbs. While irregular verbs are wrote, got, set. So, in irregular verbs, there is a change in spelling and you don't need to add ed in the end. Again, irregular verbs in the past form are verbs that change in spelling. Number 4, the past participle. The past participle is typically formed by adding D, or ed to the base form. Many times, it is identical to the past form. There are verbs that change their spelling or retain their spelling to form the past participle. Helping verbs has, have, or had are used with the past participle. Again, past participle used helping verbs has, have, or had. Okay, example, adding D or ed, baked, taped. Okay, how about a change in spelling, begun, bitten, retaining, bet, cut. Here are examples of the 4 principal parts so that you can differentiate the 4 parts of the verbs. First column is the present or base form. Second column is present participle. Third column is past. And the fourth column is past participle. Okay, the verb is blow. Present participle, blowing. How about past? Blew. So, it changed in spelling. It is a regular verb. Past participle, blown. Okay, again, blow, blowing, blew, blown. How about the verb break? Breaking, broke, broken. So, it is also an example of irregular verb because it changed in spelling. You do not add ed in the past participle and in the past form. Okay, the last example is bring, bringing, broth, and broth. Okay. This verb is an example of irregular verb. It is also change in spelling. And also, you can see the past participle the same with the past form. Broth, broth. Okay. It means that it retaining the spelling. And the last sub-skills to be studied now, we are going to expressing facts or opinions from informational text. Okay. A fact is what all believe to be true, while an opinion is a personal observation of an issue or topic. Even if people think that their opinion is true and worthy, it might not be regarded by others who have different opinion on their own. Meanwhile, everyone agrees when someone tells a fact. Okay, example. Patintero and Tumbang Preso are traditional Filipino games. Fact or opinion? Fact. Very good. How about this one? They were fun to play. Fact or opinion? That's right. It is opinion. How about this? Traditional games used native materials. Fact or opinion? Correct. Fact. Okay. For more understanding about this lesson, facts and opinions, you may watch this video.
Fact and opinion. What is a fact? A fact is something that is always true. facts can be proven. We can find facts by doing research in books, on the internet, or we could even do research of our own. Here's an example of a fact. Dogs need food and water to survive. This is always true. You could find this information in a book or on the internet. What is an opinion? An opinion is what you think or feel. It cannot be proven. Here's an example of an opinion. Dogs are the best pets. That's what I think. I love dogs. That's how I feel. But these are just my opinions because someone could say, no way, cats are the best pets. Let's see what you learned. Fact or opinion? The sun is hot. You're right, it's a fact. This can be proven. We can prove it by doing research in a book or on the internet. Fact or opinion? Coffee is delicious. You're right, that's an opinion because someone could say, ew, coffee isn't delicious. Fact or opinion? An apple is a fruit. You're right, it's a fact. An apple is a fruit. That is always true. So remember, if you're trying to figure out whether something is a fact or not, you can ask yourself, is it always true? Can it be proven? And if the answer is yes, then you found a fact.
Okay. I guess that's all about our lesson in English. Okay, again, the first we have studied, it is all about hyphenated compound. Second, principal parts of a verb. And the last is fact or opinion. So, I hope that you can answer now your exercises and thank you for listening. Goodbye, children!